All right, let's kick things off. I think we have most folks joined. So hi everyone. Thank you for joining Symphonic's latest Tech Town Hall. I'm Ali Lieberman. I'm the VP of Product here at Symphonic, and I'm joined by two incredible product managers who will talk about some new features that we've launched in the past year that we're really excited about. It's been a minute, I think, since we've had our last Tech Town Hall, and we're really looking forward to hosting a bit of a show and tell today. Um, so if you're not familiar with Symphonic, we're an independent music company. We provide distribution, marketing support, so much more. We have team members located all over the world in the US, Brazil, Colombia, South Africa, and many other locations so that we can work as closely with our artists and labels as possible. We offer many services to our clients. In addition to getting your music out to over 200 platforms, that's our core offering, but we also offer video and physical distribution. We offer promotional support that includes editorial playlist pitching. And of course, we have a suite of amazing technology that's available to you all so that you can better handle your business as a label or an artist. We've been super busy on the tech side over the last year, talking to a lot of you. We've been releasing a lot of new features. Some I'm sure you've noticed, others maybe you haven't noticed as much, but overall, we're really hoping that you continue enjoying your experience when you're accessing your Symphonic account. So I'm going to introduce the stars of the show. Jordan Wright, he's our product manager. He leads our growth squad. They're responsible for features that are aimed at growing our client base and ensuring that we have a good onboarding experience for new clients that are joining us. He's going to talk today about our feature called Transfer Track, which is technology that's unique to Symphonic, and it allows clients to easily grab music that they've previously released with other distributors and bring it all over to Symphonic just using a Spotify artist link. You don't have to re-enter metadata. You can keep all of your playlist placements. It's very, very exciting stuff that we're looking forward to showing you today. And Colleen Shea, she's our group product manager. She oversees our analytics and royalty squads. They're responsible for all of the performance metrics you see in your account. That includes stream data, playlist placements, TikTok and YouTube analytics, and also our entire royalty interface, which includes split share, which she'll talk about today. She's also going to talk about our recoupment feature that allows clients to recoup expenses before royalties are split with contributors. It's a really powerful tool that we're happy to show you more in depth today. Right. A bit of housekeeping. Here's the quick agenda, which I mentioned. We'll talk about Transfer Track. We'll talk about split share and recoupments. If you have any questions during the session, we have our chat and Q&A panel open. So we'll do our best to answer questions that come in. If we don't get to every question, we'll try to follow up with you all after the session. The session is also being recorded, and it will be made available soon after we wrap on our YouTube channel. So, all right, thank you again so much for joining us. Please, again, feel free to drop us questions in the chat, and we'll plan on answering them towards the end. Also, maybe in between some of these topics, we'll try to answer some as well. So, all right, Jordan, are you ready to kick us off?
All right, I'm ready. Thanks, Ali. So again, my name is Jordan Wright. I'm a product manager on our growth squad here at Symphonic, as well as a musician and a client of Symphonic myself. So on the growth squad, we really focus on bringing our world-class tech to as many artists and labels as possible. So that includes actually launching a whole new product in 2022 called Symphonic Starter, bringing our world-class technology that was previously available to established artists and labels, bringing that to all the DIY folks, including people like myself that are weekend warriors or maybe just getting started in their music career. And we also focus on the onboarding, like Ali said, and making our technology as easy and accessible as possible. because we know that you want to spend your time making music and getting that music in front of people, not fussing with technology and menus. So that really brings me to Transfer Track, because at one of our core ethos is making everything as easy and seamless as possible on the technology side. And when I talk to artists, when I talk to labels, when I talk to my own bandmates, I tell them about all the cool things we do at Symphonic. And they're like, yeah, we want that wider distribution network, or we really want to take advantage of those analytics features and that being able to really dig into our stream counts. Or they're tired of like maybe getting nickel and dimed at their current distributor and don't want to have to pay extra just to split royalties among their bandmates, or they don't want to have to pay extra, do extra work to recoup marketing expenses from a specific release. So they're like, yeah, I'm ready to make the switch, but then I'm really nervous about all of my back catalog. Maybe you've got just a few releases, maybe you've got, over a dozen releases in your catalog. You really don't want to lose all of your streaming data. You also, don't want to have to just re-enter every one of those releases just to switch distributors. So that's where Transfer Track comes in. And I'll walk you guys through a real world example of one of my personal projects and show you just how easy it is to actually use this tool. So when you land in our homepage, you'll be able to come up to here to see Transfer Track. And then this is where you'll be able to see all the previous imports that you may have done, and as well as start a new one. So we'll just start with a new one here. And the first thing you'll do is drop in your Spotify artist link. So we'll come over here, find your artist on Spotify, click these three dots, click share, and copy the link. And then you drop that in here, click find my artists, and magically all of your releases are available. So you'll be able to see each release, what it's called, UPC, and the label. You'll even be able to click a player just to listen to it real quick. And you'll also be able to select which releases you import and which you don't. And if you've got a particular label created on your Symphonic account that doesn't match what's on Spotify, we'll highlight that for you, because you may have an artist that may have, releases under different labels, but that's okay because you can always make that change later, or that can just highlight, maybe I just want to include these specific releases and not these other ones. So we'll just import a couple, actually do these first 4 releases. And then if for some reason you've got more than 4, 5, 6 releases, and maybe you're working with over 20 releases for a specific artist, it might be easier to switch to the grid view where you can see everything this way and just scroll through a lot easier. So you can toggle back and forth this way. And then once you're ready to import, you've got your releases ready to go, just click import down here. And we'll watch in real time. It'll take a little bit longer the more releases that you have and the more tracks on each release. But you'll actually be able to see that real-time processing here as we import each individual release. And then this is only 4 releases with just 11 tracks, but that only took, I think, less than a minute. So if you've got a whole bunch of releases, maybe it'll take a couple minutes, maybe 3 or 4, but we've got a super fast uploading of all your releases here. And then we also tell you what your next steps are, because we'll pull in all of your metadata already. We can already see, your album art and your release name, and we plug in the label. We'll also have all the metadata, but you'll also be able to make any tweaks that you want at that point before you actually review the release to push it through Symphonic's approval process. So once you've got that done here, you can actually just go to your releases and you'll see all of these here. They're all ready to go. And you can click on release and you'll see we've already got the songwriters, we've got the album art. Some cases we don't have the album art. You just might have to upload that again. And we've got any genres and any things that you may have already entered. And so you'll have to make a few tweaks here and there, but we've skipped you forward multiple steps in that release creation process. So it's really, in many cases like this one, you've already got the album art, just upload the audio files and you're ready to go. So that is our transfer track tool, and that's literally how easy it is to move your catalog over to Symphonic. I'll take it back to you, Ali.
Awesome. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, that was great. Some questions coming in. We're answering them live also. Just a quick question. Maybe you can talk about this a little bit more, Jordan, just about how streams and playlist placements and all of that can be preserved if you use transfer track. I know a lot of clients that we talk to are really worried about losing that playlist placement or having their streams reset or things like that. Could you just talk maybe a little bit about that and how it works with transfer track?
Yeah. So like I said, we import all of your metadata. So everything specific to that release, including all of your streams, including your playlist placements in Apple, Spotify, wherever. We bring all of that info into Symphonic. So the only thing we don't have in most cases is the actual audio file itself. So we have everything, we have all of the streams. Once you import that, once you push that through the approval process, then you'll just need to reach out to your previous distributor. Usually it's as easy as sending them an email request that they get those taken down. And that usually takes just a few days. So maybe give it like, I don't know, 3 to 5 business days. And once those are taken down, we'll push our releases through and it'll be a really seamless transition. So yeah, everything really does stay the same when you move it over, plus any changes that you make in that release creation process.
Great. Yeah. And just to clarify, the way we can preserve all of that is because we are bringing in the same identifiers, the same UPC, the same ISRC and all of that. So that's why it does have that seamless transfer.
Yes.
Great. Awesome. Okay, great. So yep, again, we'll continue to keep the Q&A open, the chat open. We'll save some questions also towards the end. But at this point, I think we can hand it over to Colleen. Colleen, if you're ready to talk a little bit about split share and recoupment, and how that all works on the royalty side.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Colleen Shea. I'm one of the product managers here, focused on royalties and analytics. Kind of picking up where Jordan left off. Maybe you've imported your back catalog, you've created some new releases, and the great news is you can start earning royalties, which is awesome, but it comes with needing to pay all of your collaborators. So thinking about, Jordan's band, it's one artist, the band itself, but it's got 4 different members. We've got a lead singer, we've got a drummer, we've got a guitarist, and they all need to be paid out. And this can be a little complicated because usually you're paid on a percentage per track. So maybe the lead singer has 40% on one track, 50% on another. And it becomes kind of a headache to calculate royalties where you've got like a tangle of spreadsheets with those different percentages, the royalties, and a lot of manual calculations just to get to the final answer of, all right, the lead singer is owed $40, the drummer is owed 50, and it's a bit of a headache. And then plus, like, you've got to have one member log into the account, withdraw the royalties, and then kind of distribute that offline. So that's where split share comes in, making it a bit easier, where we kind of take that spreadsheet out of the equation. And what you can do is just set the percentages per track in our system, invite any of your collaborators to set up their own free Symphonic account, and they can log in, withdraw the royalties after we've done all the calculations. And even better, it gives them a lot of tools kind of at their fingertips to answer their questions. So, people might have questions about, all right, great, I owed $50, but like, what was the breakdown by like release or track? And it used to be like emails back and forth, but now with kind of their own free Symphonic account, they can log in and see those breakdowns for themselves. Plus, in addition to getting paid out royalties, any of your collaborators also have access to kind of our great analytics where, royalties tend to lag behind, the streams happening. So they can log in and before they're paid, see how they're performing on Spotify, Apple Music, and also as well, like some of our social platforms like TikTok and YouTube. So in terms of setting up that split share, it's pretty simple. Once you've loaded all of your tracks, You can see them here, and you just can click into a single track, set the percentages as needed. And once they're saved, you don't have to worry about the royalties calculation anymore. Symphonic takes care of that for you. And then also to invite any of your collaborators to set up an account, you just come to this page. Find who you're looking for. And it's pretty simple just to send a quick email invite. And they can kind of click that email, set up an account for free, no extra charge. And they can log in, withdraw the royalties, and also see how they're performing on the different DSPs. So this works great in terms of, splitting royalties between a band and also for a label, paying out their different artists. But especially with our label clients, they have some more complex payment agreements where sometimes they front an expense that needs to be paid out before splits kick in. And it adds like a different layer of complexity because there's a lot of different kind of setups where we've had one client who says, all right, I just paid in advance just to a remixer, sweeten the deal for the project. So you need just the remixer share to pay back that advance, and everyone else is getting paid out. Then we had another client who maybe fronted the artwork and marketing expenses for a release, but everyone's share needs to pay that back, from the label to the primary artist to the featuring artist. So, it's a lot of different things. And then kind of going back to the world of spreadsheets, it's another tab, tracking all the expenses, tracking who needs to pay it back, and then also kind of tracking the balance, kind of royalty period over royalty period. And that's where recoupments comes in. It's a really kind of powerful layer on top of split share that allows labels to kind of recoup expenses before the split's kind of automatically kicking in. I think what's great about our feature too is it has a lot of flexibility in terms of how you configure the recoupment. You can both select what releases should pay back the expense, and importantly, you can select who is paying them back. So if you just need to recoup from the remixer, or you need to recoup from everyone, our system has the flexibility to set that up. So no more spreadsheets, and you can get back to making music. In terms of how that works, we would just want to create a new recoupment, select a name. And what's nice too is we can itemize expenses. And once you've entered those expenses, this is where you're going to select what releases your royalties, or what releases royalties should be recouped. So I can find that here, and I can add that. And here's where it gets really powerful, is that you can also edit who pays back that expense. So, maybe you had an agreement with Derek Case, he needs to be paid out immediately, and select that here. So only the proper people are paying back the expense. So I can hand that back to Allie for any questions or thoughts on that.
Awesome. Thank you, Colleen. This is great to be able to see that live and get more of an in-depth view. One question or topic, I guess, that does come up a lot when we're talking to artists and labels, especially those using some of our royalty features, is just level of transparency and what can their clients see, or their artists see, or their contributors see when they're using split share. Can you just talk a little bit about what that interface looks like on the other side for the payees that are involved?
Yeah, so payees can always log in and they can see their analytics and their royalties. And we also give our clients kind of a level of flexibility of what they want their contributors to see. So if you want them to see all the percentages on every track, that's important to you to provide that level of transparency. You can configure that. If you don't necessarily want to, you can shut that off. So we do allow that like control for our clients.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you. All right. Thank you to everyone who's, contributing to the chat, asking questions. We have a lot of great questions coming in. A few questions that have come up sort of related to what we're discussing. People are asking about both spatial audio like Dolby Atmos and also motion art has come up. We do offer delivery of both spatial Dolby Atmos and motion art. We're one of the few distributors that are preferred by Apple that delivers audio and assets in those formats. So that is something we offer. If you have questions about that, feel free to email us info@simdistro.com. But yes, those are services that we provide to our clients. All right. I think we are going to wrap up a little bit early today, but I do want to just go through some additional resources that we provide. So we have an amazing blog that a lot of folks are reading. We have some great content on there that our team is constantly contributing to and updating. So if you're not following our blog, be sure that you do. Great industry resources there. We also have a YouTube series, both in English and in Spanish. This recording will be posted to our YouTube channel. We're also looking to host one in Spanish, so that should be coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. We have some great podcast series, Music Industry 360, where we interview folks in the industry, artists, labels, professionals, everyone. We also have a weekly newsletter that you can subscribe to. We have Facebook groups, so we're always looking to connect with you all, hear from you, and really help grow the symphonic community. So, all right. And again, if you're not following us, here are all the places that you can connect with us. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. Please stay connected with us. Follow us there. And again, if you also have questions that we might not have gotten to, feel free to DM us on any of these platforms. And yeah, I think that's it. Again, thank you all so much for coming. We're hoping to do more tech town halls in the future. Thank you to Colleen and Jordan and our communications team for putting this on, and marketing teams. Everyone's been amazing, and we look forward to talking with you all again soon. So thank you so much for joining us.